My name is Leah and I'm 28. After our father died in a car that folded like paper, the house orbited my brother. I was 4. Evan was 9. Mom said he had to be the man. No one told me what I had to be, so I became the leftover space in every room. First proof, I was 7, itchy in a purple tutu behind the curtain. The auditorium swelled with families. Evan had a soccer game across town. Mom chose the bleachers over the balcony. I danced for strangers. When the music stopped, Miss Andrea squeezed me hand and drove me home. Smell humiliation stacked into a staircase. It climbed alone. At 13, I soldered a clumsy robot from thrifted motors and library books, taught myself loops and if-elses until they felt like prayers. The judges were astonished. The ribbon was the blessed thing I'd owned. I held it over the kitchen table where Mom was polishing Evan's college essay. Leadership, she murmured, red pen moving, eyes never landing on me. I pinned the ribbon in my room beside the others. She'd never noticed. State cam on April 7th out of 200. Mom had toe work. Later, I learned she'd taken Theta to haul Evan's boxes into a dorm for a summer program. That night, I lay awake listening to the refrigerator hum, deciding that sound was what fairness must be, constant, necessary, and uninterested in me. By 16, I'd stopped asking. I saved what I earned. I mapped exits out of the house, out of the gravity of Evan. I kept my plans folded in notebooks. It was a quiet kind of rebellion, but it held. College wasn't hard. Being broke was. I left home 8 miles behind and majored in computations, living on coffee, night shifts, and grit. Weekdays, I waited tables until midnight. Weekends, I scrubbed treadmills under humming lights. When the flu flattened me, I passed out beside a booth. I asked Mom for $300 to make rent. She said Evan needed help with his place. I sold a gifted winter coat to a consignment shop and slid 20s across to my landlord. Then I went back to work. I graduated with a 3.8 and a tolerance for silence. Skyvault, a cloud startup with paint still drying on their walls, hired me as a junior dev. I was the youngest in the room and the first to volunteer for the unglamoristics. I learned faster than my fear. I refactored a clunky service until it sang. Then led 5 engineers, then 12 at T26. I was signing architecture docs as CTO. 18 months after that, the acquisition dropped like clean thunder. The options I'd treated as Laura Beckham numbers with commas, enough to pay off loans and then some. I didn't post. I didn't call. I bought durable shoes and kept packing lunches. 8 months later, a friend sent a listing. 5 bedrooms under old oaks, a stone fireplace, a terrace over a narrow creek. I drove out on a Saturday, stood in the hush, and said yes. Cash keys. 2 weeks later, I told only Madison. She helped carry boxes and laughed when he cried at the sight of my own name on the mailbox. I adopted a shelter mute named Max, planted tomatoes, and learned the particular exhale a house makes when it's finally yours. Mom's texts multiplied when Evan bought his cookie-cutter palace. At the housewarming, a banner yelled, "Congratulations," while relatives orbited him. I kept a potato salad and quiet. When Mom asked with that soft knife smile when I'd settle, "Is it my fork down?" I did, I said. 8 months ago, 5 bedrooms creak out back paid in cash. The room tilted. Evan laughed, then stopped when I didn't. "You can afford that," he said. I looked at him the way you look at a pop-up ad you never asked for. "You want to talk money?" I said, calm as a blinking cursor. "Let's start with your credit score in the 580s. The 47 grand on cards. The overdue car note. The personal loans." And Mom, I turned to her. "You co-signed the mortgage." Her breath caught. Evan stood so fast his chair scraped across the floor like a warning. The evening shed itself from us like an old snakeskin. I drove home through the black pines, hands buzzing not with guilt, but with electricity. Max met me at the door, tail spinning like a turbine. I brewed tea and listened to the creek stitch the dark together. 2 weeks later, Mom called. "Evan's 2 months behind. The bank is calling me. Please, help." I looked at what I had built. Code into promotions. Promotions into equity. Equity into shelter. "No," I said gently. "I asked for $300 once. You said no. I won't fund his sinkhole, she inhaled like a wave that never broke. I blocked the numbers and let the house exhale. Life resumed its human scale. Work, garden, hikes. Madison arrived with cinnamon rolls and opinions. We ate on the terrace in coats, throwing a tennis ball for Max until he collapsed, proud of our competence. Are you happy? She asked. I am, I said, and felt the truth settle inside me, steady as stone.